Hello and welcome to All Things Man United. I'm Liam. We're going to be previewing the Everton versus Manchester United game, which is going to be played on Sunday. Manchester United obviously coming off the back of a defeat against Chelsea, losing 1-0 at Stamford Bridge. Before we get into it all, I'd like to introduce the panellists. You might know this guy because you probably watch his videos and he kind of owns the channel, and that's Dan. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, all right, thanks. Yeah, you?
Not too bad. And we've also got the United Man Say. How you doing, mate?
I'm not too bad. Yourself?
Yeah, not doing too bad at all. So, coming off the United of a 1-0 defeat against Chelsea, they probably feel a little bit hard done by, considering they played pretty well. Likes of Luke Shaw. I think a general team performance, it was very good. But just wasn't meant to be their day, and we all know what Chelsea, you all know what they can give. They're clinical. And I think that's the difference between a lot of clubs this season and why I think they will be winners. We'll go to you, Dan. I mean, what was your summary of the game? Was it a deserved win really for Chelsea, or do you think Man U should have at least taken a point out of the game?
Yeah, I think Manchester United should have taken a draw out of the game. There wasn't really any real clear-cut chances in that game, apart from that Chelsea just got nicked one goal and then really defended for large periods of the game. But I think Mourinho really just set up for it to go like that. I mean, I reckon he would have taken a 0-0 draw out of that game. I mean, they're well clear in the title race, so really it planned out as he wanted, and it was for Manchester United to break them down, and they just didn't have enough. Playing Falcao up front was obviously didn't really work. He didn't really get a lot of service, to be fair, but Chelsea did defend really well, and that's what they've done over the years under Mourinho. So fair play to them, but really Manchester United should have done more to break them down, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. And so, have you got anything to say about the game? Was it? I mean, I personally, from a neutral point of view, I definitely think United should have taken at least a point.
Yeah, I think that game. It was one of them ones where you dominate for the whole game and then you just get done by a whole counter attack, which was by Eden Hazard. But I thought we played very well, and it was to go to Stamford Bridge and have 70% possession is a very good positive sign. That's Lou Van Gaal can take many positives out of that game. And for Chelsea, if they're going to win the league by just parking the bus against the big boys and getting a counter attack, at the end of the day, the game is winning the game. But if you're going to be celebrating and saying you thoroughly deserved it, yes, they deserved it, but everyone else in the Premier League for me wasn't as good, and that's the main game down to it. But next season it'll be a lot better entertaining, and we will win the league. I truly believe that.
No, that's a fair enough point you make. I definitely think if it's going by anything Van Gaal, I'm sure a lot of United fans, or I think any fans seen it. Pogba 50 million, Klein, was it 25? Jackson Martinez, so on, so on. If that list is true, then I think definitely United could go on to win. But now let's crack on with the Everton game then. We'll come to you, Dan. I mean, what kind of threats do you see Everton can give? I mean, just looking here on BBC, what was in Lukaku? I mean, he's got 18 goals in all competitions, and you made a good point before we came live on air, or so he did, about the teams he probably scored against. I'm just looking, they had Lille, Wolfsburg, and Kranjsador, who I've never heard of before. So, that's probably easier teams for him to score against. But I guess you got to look at him. Everton dished out about 28 million, wasn't it? So it's big money they paid for him. I mean, he personally done a lot better when he was on loan from Chelsea. But I mean, yeah, is he someone you got to look for? And is he the biggest threat that Man U need to look out for?
Yeah, I think he probably is the biggest threat to Manchester United. I mean, as you said there, he scored still quite a few goals this season. He's still not that old. I think he's only about 21, so he could still get a lot better yet. I mean, I haven't been too impressed with Ross Barkley this season. I think he certainly hasn't been nowhere near as good as he was last season. I think he can do a lot better, but I mean, I don't really see a lot of threat from Everton. I mean, they've not been nowhere near as good as they were last season, and I feel that Manchester United could really get at them with their defence. Because I don't think they're defending nowhere near as well as last season either. I mean, I don't think Leighton Baines has been as good this season, so I don't see him as being I mean, before he was a threat down the left-hand side, but I don't think he's been as good. So I think Manchester United should go into this game confident, really.
No, yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, I'm just looking at the table now. Everton are 12th, but they do come off the back of a win, a 1-0 win against Burnley. But then again, Burnley are at the bottom of the league, and I think they'll definitely be one of the teams to go down. We're going over to you, Saturday. I mean, yeah, like I said, Lukaku probably going to be the deadliest threat. But then you can look at Barkley, Morales, even Naismith. They are teams that can pop up out of nowhere and can bag you a goal and assist. I mean, Everton haven't really got much momentum because they're not going down. They haven't really got a fight for much, and they're not going to win anything. They're not qualifying for Europa League again, or even getting the Champions League now. So, overall this season, personally, Roberto Martinez, it's been a pretty poor season. Finished 5th last season. And I always rated Martinez at Wigan, came to Everton. I think he could really progress into an amazing manager, but he just hasn't done it this season. Maybe it's just a blip and he'll start again next season. But you can definitely tell that Everton fans aren't happy considering where they were. So yeah, like I said, what kind of threats do you see, Sassy? I mean, these kind of players, Barkley, I think he'll be a big future talent. Do you think players like that will be threats?
Yeah, I think Everton have got a lot of threats on their day, but majority of this season they haven't been that well, and you can see that by the league position. I think they're sitting 12th or something like that. And Lukaku, he's one of them players where he came with a big price tag, similar to Di Maria. He came with £60 million. Lukaku, he didn't settle into the Everton's lineup as soon as he did, but he started to hit a bit of form. He's scoring a couple of goals. Most of his goals, I think, are in the League Cup and Europa League. So I wouldn't really say he's done that well in the Premier League, but he's a good player, and on his day he can cause any team a threat. And the fact that he played probably against Paddy McNair, and I think it's Chris Smalling probably he'll be playing against. That fills me with confidence. That may sound strange because Paddy McNair has been absolutely quality over the last couple of games he's played, and Lukaku against McNair, you probably think Lukaku will win, but McNair's been on a good roll, and I don't really see them causing that much of a threat apart from Lukaku, maybe Morales, or if McGee does start, it probably might be him. But Barkley, I think, is probably the major big threat for them because they just literally he makes all their chances, he creates a lot, and even when he's not on the ball, his movement's excellent, and I think he's going to be a big, good talent for England in the future.
Yeah, definitely agree. I mean, even just, from an England point of view, I really want him to do something, of course. And I don't know if that's personally staying at Everton, or could he, do better going to City or another club, or if he goes to City, he might just get set on the bench and nothing would be going for him. A bit like Scott Sinclair, young player, not really got much out of it doing at Villa, and he's at the FA Cup final now. So maybe the big clubs isn't the venture or the route to take for the young players that can potentially be something big for international teams. So we're going to formations now. Dan, we'll come over to you. What kind of formation would you choose? Would you keep it pretty much the same against Chelsea? Because I mean, it did work. Just like I say, it said 70% possession at Stamford Bridge isn't easy to come by, and I'm sure even at Goodison Park, I bet a result can come out of it with the same team. What formation would you play, and what players would you put in those positions?
Yeah, I would keep it the same formation as we played against Chelsea. I think it's been working well lately, playing that way. But obviously, no one actually knows yet what injuries Louis van Gaal's got to deal with for this game. But if we haven't got any of the players back, then I would probably stick with almost the same lineup. Apart from I would put Wayne Rooney back up front. I think it would definitely help if Wayne Rooney goes back up front, or if possible, Robin van Persie's fit. You might have to play him up front and keep Wayne Rooney in midfield. Although I don't think that Wayne Rooney is effective at all in midfield. But if Michael Carrick's still out, then obviously Wayne Rooney's going to have to go in there. If Daley Blind's out as well. I presume that probably one of them will return, so then I'll put Wayne Rooney back up front. It depends whether I'll probably keep Luke Shaw at left back if he's still fit. I thought he done well against Chelsea. We'll probably have to keep Paddy McNair at the centre of the defence, unless of course one of the others, unless Rojo or Jones is fit, it's going to remain to be seen. but Smalling and Valencia almost pick themselves, and then a lot of the other players I would probably keep Herrera and Fellaini in there, and Mata would keep themselves in there. I would probably bring Di Maria back in for Ashley Young, though. I think it's probably time now to give Di Maria a game or two to get him ready for next season. But overall, I wouldn't want to change too much unless of course there's any more injuries or they all come back from injury.
No, it's a good point you made there, Dan. I was thinking, even from a United fan point of view, would this kind of be a game where, of course, United still have something to fight for, that second spot, and that'd be great, but they're a bit like top four's kind of done and dusted for them now, I personally think. Would you be more accessible to saying, bring on Falcao, Di Maria? I know you said you didn't really want to change it around as much, but, if Van Gaal did change it around a bit, just for the fact of giving some players game time, would that really bother you at all?
Not too much. I mean, the fourth spot at least should be Manchester United's now. I mean, I think Liverpool are quite a few points behind, and they'd probably have to win every game now to stand any chance of finishing ahead of one of the Manchester clubs. So, yeah, if he does change it around a little bit, I wouldn't want him to change it around too much, because I don't think it's a good idea to change a team that's been performing well around too much. But if he keeps the same players as last week, I'm not too bothered. But I got my doubts whether we'll see Falcao back in the starting lineup. Van Persie played for the under-21s the other day. I think he got 60 minutes, so there's a chance that he could start this game if Rooney is in midfield. And I probably would start him ahead of Falcao, because I just don't think Falcao's cutting it for me at all this season, and I'm not that bothered if he does go.
Yeah, just touching on Falcao actually, Sassy. Do you think it's done and dusted now? Do you think that's it for him? He's had the whole season, just hasn't worked. I mean, what do you kind of put your point to? What's your opinion on it, Sassy?
Well, with Falcao, it's a difficult one because he's when he first signed on deadline day, I think every fan from United's perspective was buzzing when he signed, because Falcao at the time of signing, he was probably one of the world's best number 9s they are, and he was bagging goals wherever he went. Monaco, Atletico Madrid, he was literally scoring for fun. And the fact that we beat Chelsea, City, and Arsenal and Liverpool to this signing of Falcao, it gives you some kind of belief that he would do well. But it just never worked out for him. And even when he did score, you thought, okay, now when he scored against Everton, I think it was his first goal in a United shirt. You thought, okay, now he's going to go on and score a lot more. But then he just kept getting injured. He just never was fit enough. Van Gaal was criticising the way he was playing, and he just never really fitted into United's style of play. And there's talk of either him or Cavani, and for me, I wouldn't choose any, because Cavani, he's not worth the price tag, he's not worth his wage, and Falcao just hasn't been good enough for United. So for me, I don't know what about Falcao, but I think Van Gaal's made his mind up. Monaco have come out and said that he's not they're not talking to any other clubs except for Manchester United. But for me, I think Louis Van Gaal's made his mind up and said Falcao won't stay. And for me, I don't want to see him here at United shirt. There's many fans that do want to see him, but for me, he's just not worth the money.
That's fair enough. You say it how it is, and no, it's a good point you're making. He has underperformed. The bloke's getting about 250 grand a week or whatnot. So still ridiculous money, and he's not even getting on the pitch. So obviously, what's the point with the money? Use it to an actual player to score, and at least it looks like he wants to. I mean, I think on Falcao's, fair play. I think he does want to try and be successful at United. It just hasn't worked for him. Like I said, Premier League's not for everybody. I'm still 50-50 with Di Maria, but I'm sure he'll flourish. I think, Di Maria reminds me a bit of Ozil. They're around such good players in Madrid, and they don't have to work as hard. And if they do make a mistake, it doesn't look so bad because they got someone like Ronaldo or players like that around them just to cover up for him. So, yeah, I think he obviously is, and it's much more of a physical league, and the defence is obviously a lot better than La Liga's defenders. But going on your formation, Sassy. I mean, how would you play? Would you keep the same against Chelsea? Would you change formation? What would you do?
The formation will probably stay the same. 4-3-3 has been working a treat since we've changed from 4-4-2 down, and I just think maybe there's a few tweaks. I agree with Dan. I don't want to change it up that much because the way we played against Chelsea to go there and dominate possession was absolutely amazing. But the fact that we didn't score, I'd probably tinker with up front wise and probably bring Di Maria back into the starting lineup. The start, Dave in goal without a doubt. Back four probably picks itself. Valencia, McNair, and Smalling with a short left back. It's interesting if Blind is fit. I don't think he would start, but maybe Van Gaal, might like because he's Dutch. Three midfield will probably go with. It's tricky because you don't know who will be fit, but hopefully Carrick is fit. Carrick has been absolutely key for us. Carrick, Fellaini, and Herrera as the three. Mata, Rooney, and Di Maria as my front three. I just think Di Maria can actually provide something in this game because when he has come off the bench, he hasn't made much of an impact. Hopefully today is his day.
No, that's fair enough. Just a quick note actually on Chris Smalling signing a new contract until 2019, I believe. Go to you, Dan. I mean, is that a positive for United? Will Chris Smalling now see this? Van Gaal's kind of put the faith in Smalling to kind of show that lead role. Is that kind of just a bit of a morale boost for him? Why do you think Van Gaal signed him on, or is it just a fact of he needs that position covered and he's got no other choice? How do you see it?
Well, he's started to play a lot better now than when he got sent off early in the season away at Manchester City. I've been a lot more impressed with him lately, but obviously there's always that chance of him getting injured. But it seems that Louis van Gaal's sticking faith in him, giving him the new contract. I think probably a couple of the others will. Well, I'm sure at least one of the other centre-halves, probably Johnny Evans, will probably leave in the summer. So he's pretty much got a spot in the squad covered, even if Manchester United do bring in, I would presume they're going to bring in at least one more centre-half next summer, and I know Marcus Rojo's on a lot of money, so it remains to be seen how they go next season, whether Smalling is an automatic starter, but with injuries, you never know who's going to get injured, so you need at least 3 or 4 centre-halves in the squad, so even if he doesn't play every single week, I think he's probably a good player to have in the squad anyway. And 80,000, I think Rojo's on about nearer 200,000 a week, so it's not as much as that. So, but he's kept faith in him, so it's nice to see.
Yeah, and also just talking about Smalling, I know it's not pretty much, but 4 goals from a defender, Smalling, compared to Jones, Evans, and Rojo, they scored none. So that's pretty why Van Gaal's decided to put him on the new contract. And personally, I think he has played pretty well from that neutral point of view. And big morale boost for the whole team. Going on to you, Sati. I mean, would you say the same pretty much as Dan? Was it a morale boost for the whole team?
Yeah, I think Smalling, since he started the season, I think the red card against City was a turning point. Because that was when many United fans, giving up faith with him and Jones. Because when you get a red card against City, probably local rivals, one of our 2 biggest rivals, that is it. If you do something wrong, you're going to get blamed, and he deserves that. But since he's come back, he's just genuinely played absolutely incredible. Even his goals have been good. He's been actually leading the back line. That's something we've been missing for the whole season. If he was performing like he is now at the beginning of the season, I don't think we would have lost to Leicester, drawn to Burnley, and lost to Swansea. I don't think that would have happened because we actually had a lead at the back, and that's something we're missing. And for me, I just think he deserves that 4-year contract because he has played very well. And for me, I think he can. I don't know if he'll be there next year as a first-team player. That remains to be seen because I think, like Dan said, Rojo's been on a lot of money. So even if we were to sell Rojo, who would take that much wages? So it's a different one, but I think Jones will probably leave, but Smalling and Rojo may take a squad rotation player with Hummels and maybe another centre-back coming into the lineup.
All right, then let's start wrapping up the show now. Come to you, Dan. What do you think the result is going to be, and your goal scorers, please?
I don't think there'll be a huge amount of goals in it. Probably maybe 2-0 or 2-1 to Manchester United. I'll go 2-0. I'll go with Rooney and Herrera to score the goals.
And to you, Sati, as well?
I want to say something about 6-0 because the grief they gave us last year, it was incredible. The amount of grief we got for Everton fans with the David Moyes here. But realistic, I'll probably say about 2-1. Be different from Dan, maybe 2-1. I think the goal scorer would probably be. It's different to say, but I think it would be Di Maria and Mata to score because Rooney never does well at Goodison Park, so probably them two.
And yeah, just before we wrap this up, Dan, where can people find you on Twitter and your YouTube channel, of course?
Yeah, this is the YouTube channel, and Daniel H 1558 for the Twitter.
And the same for you, say.
Twitter is UnitedMan_MU and YouTube channel is UnitedMan. Cheers up, Jan.
It's been good, guys. You can also find me at Liam P.O. Edwards. Me talking about mainly football. So if you don't like football, don't follow me. Thank you very much for watching All Things Manchester United. We'll see you soon.